I don't know how we put this show together tonight. We got cupcakes, we got pawpaws, we got nonsense from City Hall in Providence. We've got it all. You got what? Pawpaws. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what the hell they are either. I really don't. But my esteemed producer has told me that this is going to solve a mystery for a lot of you folks out there. We both read a journal article about a nice lady here in the community that's making good use of a fruit that you should make good use of as well. And given that, you know, I could lose a couple, it's better to eat fruit than the damn cupcakes that we've got on store here for this evening as well, because we're promoting local businesses and meeting local people and having some fun with that. And we got a food truck festival where the cupcakes are going to be at. We got another festival where the pawpaws are going to be at. And you know, right now, by the time you're watching this, I know where I'm at, having a cold one somewhere. But let's see if we can get this show on the road. My rundown this evening is a weird one. We just jumped to it, so let me do that. We're a little goofed under pressure, or somebody goofed under pressure. Actually, it's the state treasurer who goofed under pressure. We're going to have a little laugh over that. And then, why not? With the ridiculous way we started this program, we might as well label the next conversation Confused. Are you a Kinks fan? Do you remember, I'm in a state of confusion? Whoa, I am. All right, so let's get into this. I originally had planned, let me hold on, Steve, for just a second. I had originally planned to have a city councilor here for our first segment, but I will tell you that the reason why we're a little short on our lineup of stuff today is because he was scheduled for our first segment and then got called into a high-level negotiation that will relate to subject number 2. Just wanted to kind of cough that up. All right, here's what happened. I guess on Newsmakers, Tim White and Ted Nesi record the Newsmakers program each week on Fridays for the Sunday airing. And so State Treasurer Gina Raimondo, who's been the subject of a lot of conversation here, of course, appeared on that program today. I guess she had quoted some statistical numbers about crime and it going up on my radio program yesterday. Follow now. I had Gina on, and she and I got into it. I mean, we got into it on a bunch of different things. I think that she has more or less gone over the line in her decisions on what to do with the state pension program and pulling all that gun stock out. In fact, she didn't even know what the value of the gun stock was. I covered that with you last night, and I'm sure it's going to come up again today. She also was kind of intimating that Angel Tavares has lost a little bit of his control over the city. Remember, these two are headed for a showdown in the Democratic primary for governor, it seems like. So when Tim and Ted were talking to her about the data, she admitted that she made a boo-boo.
I heard you say on Dan Yorke's show that crime is up in Providence. Our colleague Dan McGowan covers Providence. He's gone through the numbers. Crime, in fact, is down in Providence.
And I appreciated that correction.
So what are you talking about when you said that?
Right. You know, it was a mistake. I appreciated the correction. I tweeted him right back and said that. But let's face it, any amount of crime is a problem, and we have to do better. You know,
so was that like a campaign talking point that got out of hand?
No. At the time, Dan was going after me, and
Dan
I
Yorke,
goofed.
Dan
Yorke was going after me, and I goofed.
You know what? There's two things I think to be learned from that little segment, which, of course, you can see in its entirety and the entire program Sunday on the Newsmakers. Check your local listings. First of all, I want everyone to take a deep breath in the political community around here. When you make a mistake, all you have to do is say, I made a mistake. And you know what people do? They say, that's okay. The paranoia and the tight you-know-what muscle that everybody in politics has around here about being perfect and not making any mistakes and not admitting when they've made mistakes vis-a-vis our next conversation is absolutely insane. People love when people make mistakes. The constituents love when you admit you've made a mistake. So that was fine, Gina. The second lesson is, though, get your act together. Don't be slinging it when you don't know what the data is. And we're going to see a lot of that in this next gubernatorial and campaign season, because we know from history we've seen a lot of that in the past. But good for her. It's not the end of the world to say, you know, I made a mistake. I guess I roughed her up, huh? Yeah. Stay tuned. All right. I'm a fan, by the way, of Gina's. She's had a bad month. All right. This is just confusing. And here's what I'm confused over. How in heaven's name do you launch a mayoral campaign? Look at this headline in the Providence Journal today. Providence Mayor Angel DeVeris will announce a run for governor on Monday. Well, good for him. I mean, by and large, he's been a pretty good mayor. And as I've told you many times before, this pool video is a little premature, but let me just kind of explain where I'm at here. I don't want to confuse you. So why don't we pull that down? Let's pull that down for a second, and let me set that up for a second. Hey, you know what? It's been a long week for all of us here on the Dan Yorke State of Mind, so it's okay to make mistakes. See? The mayor is making this announcement on Monday amidst a controversy that has really been what he thinks is just something that's nipping at his heels. What he doesn't understand is that it's going to dump on his head. Now we can hear the video. This particular pool is the Davy Lopes pool. It's in the south end of the city. It's right up Dudley Street behind the hospital. It's in terrible shape. It was empty this summer and sent a message to urban kids that they don't matter. So what did the rocket scientists at the administration decide to do? They decided to cement it. And we've showed you already that they've got these bids that they put out, and we're about 10 days away from a decision on one of 3 bids to cement that pool. Well, the South End folks have gone nuts about this, while Mayor Tavares is defending his position vis-a-vis what he said this week on Channel 12.
What I did was invest the money into a summer camp that fed the kids breakfast, fed the kids lunch, made sure that they were involved from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, versus having a pool that was being very lightly used in the afternoon from 1 to 5 o'clock perhaps. So what I did was invest so that we could serve more children. More children. That's what I did.
Yeah, well, he's a little too angry, isn't he? You know, doth protest too much. Because, you know, these policies, by the way, that they have that have caused lesser population at the pools. Why? Because they make these kids who don't have parents or whose parents are working, because we want them off the welfare rolls, right? They make them bring their parents to the pool, but if the parents aren't there, then they can't get in the pool. And if there are lesser kids at the pool, then you can shut the pool down because there's not enough kids at the pool. It is the worst urban policy you'd ever want to see. Anyway, throw a little blackmail on top of it, as was alleged by the city councilor in that district, and you got yourselves you got a real boiling controversy.
The offer was vote in favor of the budget, and we'll keep your pool open, and anything you need will go in nicely. Ever since I voted against the budget, they've closed down the pool. They've rejected the 8% tax for the West Elmwood housing. They are making it impossible for SWAP to build their building over on Prairie in public. And this is all because I voted against the budget.
Are you saying this is political blackmail?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that was the allegation. Everyone's all upset. Here's what I've understood. A couple of things. Number one, this is not just Dan Yorke giving everybody a hard time. The community leadership in that neighborhood has grown to a significant amount, as evidenced by the population of people who were at that press conference earlier in the week. Secondly, other media are getting into it. Look what Ed Fitzpatrick's column looked like. Here's the headline in the Providence Journal yesterday. Closing of the Providence pool, making ways for Tavares. Ed is an astute viewer of the political scene here in town. He understands that this thing is more than just something that's nipping at Angel Tavares' heel. So here's what I've understood is happening. That gentleman, Mr. Sanchez, Davian Sanchez, the councilman who was there talking about the blackmail, had been on the program earlier this week and was scheduled to be here today, but 10 minutes before he was scheduled to be here, he called us and said, I can't because I'm in City Hall trying to make a deal. So there's a negotiation going on to save that pool. The latest deal that was on the table as of about 2 o'clock this afternoon was allegedly or reportedly offered by the city council president to the community leadership that if they shut up, really, if they shut up, they won't cement the pool. But there's no promise as to when they'll put water in the pool and fix the pool and let kids swim in the pool. That has been guaranteed not to happen. As you see, thank you, Steve. I mean, it needs to be cleaned up. That empty mess they have as part of their offer will stay looking like that until 2015. Guess what? All of this while the mayor says, I'd like to be governor, and announces so on Monday. And you wonder why I'm confused. He's confused. All right, we'll follow all of that next week, no doubt. We are going to lighten up. I could use a cold one. Instead, Jesse's going to get me a cupcake and a pawpaw. And then, of course, your state of mind. Hey, it's Friday now. All right, so wait a second. You're originally from Grafton.
Yeah.
You live in Gloucester. You work in Brown. We've had a continuing conversation going on here, so we might as well just kind of, right? You're from
Yes.
Gloucester.
So I'm from Grafton,
You're
Mass. I
originally
live
from
in
Grafton,
yeah.
and the business is in?
Providence, Rhode Island.
Yes. Say hello to Sherry.
Hello.
And Sherry's last name is pronounced H-U. So, and no jokes. Because I'm thinking, I just met her 10 seconds ago. She just settled in. But I'm sure there's some sneeze jokes every once in a while. Achoo! You know, right? Okay, so let's just get that off the, let's just get that done. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Thank you.
We are just Fridaying up here and lightening up a little bit. It's been too many hard issues and too many serious conversations and too many political debates. And Jess set this thing up because she's looking for the prize at the end, and she knows that I'm probably not going to dig into these gorgeous. Can we get closer on this? Anyway, this is as close as we're going to get. Well, let me tell you, these are pretty good. There's a food truck festival that is happening in Newport as we speak. Well, this weekend at least. Let us put that up on the screen in case anybody's thinking they got nothing to do tomorrow. From 11 to 5, Newport Yachting Club. This is the second annual Newport Food Truck Festival, as I understand, and you have a cupcake truck.
Yes.
How long have you had a cupcake truck?
So my husband and I actually purchased the business in February of this year.
Okay.
So we've been doing cupcakes since February. We've done several festivals, and we opened up a new spot on Atwells Ave in Providence.
So you have a store.
Yeah, so we have a store. We have 2 storefronts as well.
All cupcakes?
Yes.
Like anything else on the side?
We have cupcakes, mini cupcakes, cake pops, giant cupcakes. We have gourmet chocolates by excellent, like, local chocolatiers.
How's business?
Great. It's been going well.
So this food truck thing is interesting. For some reason, I'm learning that there's a little bit of tension convention going on in the restaurant business with these food trucks in general. Especially, I mean, we've got a list of the folks that I have a list of the folks of the. I actually met the gentleman from Clam Jammers the other day on the radio. They're, the lobster rolls.
Yeah.
You know, I was in the mood for them.
Cakes are so
I'm not sure
good.
about the cupcakes today because
Cakes are good.
they're awesome, right? But there's a little bit of a thing going on with the food truck industry where restaurants that are in certain places are a little bit, I don't know, neurotic over the idea that you guys are kind of driving in and picking up business. So how does your operation work?
So mine works that I sell more out of the shop on a regular basis, and then I join these festivals to really branch out and be a part of the community. So that's where I can kind of get in.
Do you show up with your cupcake truck like randomly anywhere?
Not yet, but
you plan on it?
Yes, I plan on that.
You're going to seize the moment, and you're going to start moving in with your cupcakes at destinations that are undisclosed.
And farmers markets and lots of fun stuff. I've been doing some farmers markets.
Depending on the community, permitting for these things is catch as catch can. Some communities are very, very accommodating, and some aren't at all.
Right.
Right.
So for Providence, I just had to get my vendor pin and, fill out all the appropriate paperwork, the background checks and everything, and I was good to go.
Yeah, background check for cupcakes.
Right?
There's no background checks for the people that are making big decisions with billions of dollars. But you background check the cupcake types. I guess you don't want to make sure they're not going to do anything funny with your cupcakes.
Yes.
All right, so these are
what separates us from other cupcake places is that we do a Swiss buttercream. So it's delicious. It's very light. It's fluffy. It's not super sugary.
Okay.
So when you bite into it, you're not eating like a spoonful of sugar. It's just delicious. We bake everything from scratch.
I get a rush from cupcakes. No, you mean like the sugar thing, like kind of
like normally I cannot have like straight buttercream because it's just like American buttercream is so sugar and granular.
Yeah.
Where when you try ours, it is so smooth and fluffy. We even make our batter from scratch. So everything is from scratch, homemade, which is wonderful. So it's delicious. We typically fill them. Like we brought a delicious s'mores cupcake. We filled it with our homemade
whack
chocolate.
somebody for one of these things.
I know, right?
What are they cost?
So they're $2.75 each.
Really?
Yeah, we keep reasonable.
Not bad.
No, not bad.
Well,
not
I'm glad
bad.
you're doing well. All right, so the
Thank you.
cupcake, City Girl Cupcake, you know, which is a complete misrepresentation because she lives in Gloucester, but she doesn't tell anybody that. Now you're on Atwell's.
Yes. And we're downtown Waybosset.
Okay.
Yep. So we bake and retail on downtown Waybosset. We retail on Atwells Ave, and then we enjoy participating in all these local festivals and farmers markets.
And you can grab a cupcake or a 10 or a dozen at the Food Truck Festival in Newport tomorrow. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Thanks. When I come back, I go from cupcakes to fruit. I'm improving my nutritional thing? I don't know. It was. Welcome back into my state of mind, which is random this evening. No doubt about it. I'm told from downstairs as we tape the show. You think it's live? No. We're the late afternoon. But as we speak at City Hall, they're getting closer to a deal on that pool. Look, it's not the debt ceiling. You know, it's not a world-ending crisis, but it could be for a campaign if the mayor doesn't get his act together. So we'll keep you up to date on that. And of course, news, we'll have that this evening as well on Eyewitness News on Fox and Channel 12. Now, back to regularly scheduled intent of programming and moving from cupcakes to fruit. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
We saw your story, Rhonda, in the Journal. Warwick Farm sings the pawpaw's praises. When Jess said to me, well, we're going to do this, I said, what the hell is a pawpaw?
Yeah. Well, we have some here. Oops.
It's a pawpaw.
Those are pawpaws.
They grow how?
It's a pretty small tree. About 30 feet high, about 15 to 20 feet across. It's a deciduous tree. It's native to the U.S.
Okay.
You won't find it in the grocery stores because...
Why? Discrimination?
No, they actually will start to turn kind of ugly in a couple of days. They have a short shelf life, and they get very soft. So
do pears.
No, way worse than a pear.
I have a pear in my lunchbox. I
Yeah.
take a lunchbox like a little 4-year-old, a little second grader every day, trying to manage my big fat girth, right? And I've had a pear in there for 2 days, and it's bad already.
Yeah.
So it's no different than this, right?
No, this will get a lot worse than that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you won't see them. You have to pick it and then eat it within 2 or 3 days.
Is this good? How do you eat it?
Well, you just...
I will have a pawpaw.
Yeah, you have to taste it. It's very different.
I got a spoon here.
You don't eat the seeds or the skin.
Why?
They have some toxins in them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Here, you can take that.
That's okay. So am I going to be all right?
Yes,
all
the
right.
fruit's good. It's very different.
Mild.
Yeah.
But substantive.
Yeah. Rich.
Rich.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like banana.
The longer it's in
sort
there,
of.
the more it's like a banana.
Yeah.
It's just fattening?
No, it's a fruit. It's
some fruits are bad.
Yeah,
you know,
good.
bananas are like
I think pretty low calorie, although I don't know for sure.
All right, so tell me your quick story in like 30 seconds. And you bought the farm. You did
2 years ago, we bought the farm.
Man, that's actually really good.
Yeah. Most people think it's good.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The farm has also a huge pick-your-own blueberries business on it, but the pawpaws are separate, and there are about 30 trees. They were all planted by Mark Garrison, who owned it before us about 15 years ago.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur. You're growing this and what else?
The blueberries, high bush blueberries.
Yes. Blueberries. Okay. So
yeah.
Did we put up the website and all that kind of stuff? You got an event tomorrow too?
We're just selling the last of the season's fruit.
Oh, you're clearing out the pawpaws.
It's all we got left. Yeah.
So when you buy them, you got to be prepared to like consume them fairly readily.
Yes. You can freeze it if you scoop out the fruit, take the seeds out, scoop it out, and put it in a freezer bag. It'll keep for about a year.
Are the toxins killers? If you grab a skin or a seed?
No, I don't think so. Might make you mildly, stomachache kind of thing.
You gave me the right spot, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
All right. Well, get down to the again. Tell everybody where the farm is.
The farm is at 130 Rocky Point Ave in Warwick.
All right.
And that's where we'll be selling it tomorrow from 9 to 12.
I'm telling you, they're really tasty. If you like a little banana and you like a little like melon, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of combination. You didn't know what a pawpaw was, did you? Now you do. Well, thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Go
Thank
down
you.
and see the pawpaws and grab your pawpaws. All right, your state of mind when we come back. Crazy show today. They're good. Actually, very good. All right, welcome back in. Time for your state of mind. But I do have a few seconds here to tell you that it looks like a lot of your interest and a lot of citizen concern and maybe a little bit of dose of a good size of leadership has got them working in City Hall over this pool thing. Again, I'd check into Eyewitness News tonight if you've been following this story, but here's that Davy Loeb's pool. It's just, you know what? It's just one pool in one neighborhood. I had a guy on the radio earlier today tell me, Dan, you're making a whole big deal out of nothing. Yeah? He's from Westerly. I said, yeah, how close are you to water? He said, well, I'm looking at the ocean as we speak. I said, yeah, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice down there in Westerly, looking at the ocean as you speak? How'd you like to be a kid in the inner city at 97 degrees on a hot summer day who looks at that? Maybe the consultants have told Angel Taveras as he runs for governor that most people don't care about that. Well, you know what? I think more of you do. And if you don't, start. In the meantime, regarding Coventry and the Central Fire District debate that we had last night on the Twitter feed, here's the latest of many things that were posted. Raymond writes, the structural change they seek, meaning the politicians in Coventry, simply wants to end the collective bargaining process. That's why when asked to define how the term relates to public safety, meaning structural change, I guess, politicians stumble and evade. You know what? The structural change is also about management rights. Management rights are important, and minimum manning standards are restrictive. So that's the structure I think most of them are talking about. But good debate, and we'll continue to follow that story. Your state of mind, just give me a ring at 228-1886. Leave a voicemail and we'll air it. State of mind at myRITV.com is the email. And of course on Twitter and Facebook it is Dan Yorke Show. Have a great weekend. Go Sox, sort of. See you Monday. Bye.